Metal Up World, this is CJ, the Metal Motivator with metalmotivation.com. Are you struggling to find purpose and direction for your life? Are you stuck in life right now? Well, if so, I really want you to watch this short video because I'm talking to you about finding purpose and direction for your life. This is being shown in my Life Domination online coaching program all this week, which you can learn more about by visiting the link below. But finding purpose and direction for your life. You know, you might be surprised when I say this, but I have always struggled with setting long-term goals. Believe it or not, I've always struggled with the idea of setting some point out there in the future that I want to achieve. For whatever reason, that's really never worked for me. Now, I understand why people do it. You know, it makes perfect sense, right? You've got something that you want to do with your life, or you're inspired by someone else, like young kids growing up watching TV and they see the Beatles or Kiss or whoever for the first time, and it inspired them to grow up to become musicians. I understand that. You grow up watching movies and you want to grow up and be a filmmaker, etc., sports, whatever it may be. I get that. Okay, but for a lot of us, we're not aspiring to be those superstars necessarily. For a lot of us, it's not like that. Life doesn't work like that. And so I never quite got it. It never really resonated with me to have this it's good to have a general idea of a direction you want to head in. But the problem with finding these ideal endpoints in life is that because it's so difficult to get to, and because life can throw you so many curveballs, that you keep comparing yourself to this ideal image that you have, and it oftentimes creates frustration. It creates discouragement. It creates hopelessness because you can never seem to reach this quote-unquote ideal. Well, a long time ago, I learned something myself just by following some other indicators for the purpose and the direction of my life. And that's what I want to share with you. You know, for me, again, I couldn't necessarily go for this, creating this ideal picture, this ideal point in the future, and then striving for it. And it's kind of the way we think in the West, very linear in our thinking. You know, there's this goal and there's this graph and there's this timeline. Everything is from where we are to where we want to be. Okay, I understand it. But I needed to do something different to move forward in life. And this is what I've learned. What I've learned is I stopped focusing on something outside of me as an end point, something I'm striving for. And instead, I turned inward to my gifts, talents, abilities, interests, and passions. And I let them tell me where to go. Now, it's going to take me a week to break this all down, but I want to give you just the gist, just this powerful nugget of truth here. Here's what I had to understand, and it came to me almost like an envisioned form. I saw this incredible picture in my mind of what life, of how I was doing things was working better for me, and I finally got an image of how that worked out. And for me, life is not so much about an endpoint that I'm striving for. Life unfolds. Life is like a New Year's party favor. You know, the thing that you blow and it rolls out? That's what life is like. Because everything that you become is already in you in seed form, right? Everything in you is like a tree, man. You know, everything that you have the potential to become is already in you. It's the development of abilities. It's the development of interests. It's the development of skills. It's the development of these things that are already wired inside you. And so what I learned to do was start to focus on that. I focused on cultivating what was within me. And what I began to find out is that life had a different way of working. Because for example, I started Metal Motivation on Halloween of 2009. Now, a few years before that, I came up with the original idea for it back in the spring of 2008, a year prior. Now, before that, I never had any plans for anything like Metal Motivation. So if I'd have had a 5-year plan, let's say in 2007, for something else that I was doing business-wise before this opportunity or idea came to me, what was I supposed to do? If Metal Motivation was never a part of my 5-year plan, then I guess I can't take advantage of it, right? Because it's not a part of my end goal. It's not a part of my 5-year plan. Well, I didn't have a 5-year plan. When I plan in pencil because I'm always prepared to do a lot of erasing because things change. Life, as I said, throws you curveballs and you need to be able to move. You need to be able to change directions. So what I learned to do is keep focus and keep a close watch on my gifts, my talents, my abilities. I kept working on those things. I kept maximizing who I was. I kept developing who I was. And then suddenly ideas would come. Opportunities would come. Doors would open that I didn't anticipate were going to open. And because I was flexible, I was able to take advantage of them. That's what success is, man. Success is seizing opportunities. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you are open to change. And you can only be open to change if you're more focused on developing your abilities, developing your ideas, developing your gifts and talents. Again, you may have some general picture, that's okay. But let the gifting, let the desire, let the calling, let the abilities dictate where you go. Let them dictate where you go. We're going to talk more about this week because, as you know, a lot of industries have changed. Publishing industry, film industry, music industry, things are changing, man. Everybody's saying this is dead and that's dead and it's harder than it's ever been before. Is it harder than it's ever been before? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe you need to change the way you look at things. Maybe you need to change the way you envision things. Because if you still have an image in your mind based on the way you saw things in 1982, then yeah, you're probably going to be disappointed. But if we stop looking at things that way as a point that we're trying to reach and start focusing on our abilities and keep focusing and learning, then we're going to see new opportunities in this new era, in this new season, in this new generation, and with the available technologies and opportunities that are there now. And you want to be able to seize those. But this requires wisdom, this requires skill, this requires a change of your mindset. And that's what this week's series is all about. So I want you to join me all this week. If you'd like to, I show the rest of these videos in my Life Domination online coaching program. It's video-based, online instruction. You can do the whole thing from your smartphone. Why? Because it's in a private Facebook group, which I oversee. That means you and I get to work together. So I want you to sign up today. It's only $19.97 a month. Man, you're in there every day. You get tons of videos, tons of instruction, and you're in there with a whole bunch of other people just like you that are committed and motivated. So no negativity in there. But again, we get to talk and hang out and have a good time and encourage each other to live a dominating life. So join my Life Domination coaching program today. Just visit the link below, metalmotivation.com/Life Domination Coaching. This is CJ, the Metal Motivator. And remember, in whatever you do, don't suck. Metal up.